Welcome to the Strenuous Life Radio, the podcast where leaderpreneurs, entrepreneurs, men and women learn the essentials and soft skills of the strenuous life. And now, here is your guest host, Jimi Hendrix. Hello, everybody. JR has left the building. Now, he wanted to control the YouTube channel for this particular episode, and I see his point. But I want to talk. The title of this episode is called Work on Yourself. And isn't it funny? Some cataclysmic things have happened to me in the past year. In October 2021, the church leaders got together and announced that the congregation boundaries were once again split. And I know there are maybe a few of us, myself included, who in some ways were heartbroken. Because, my mother has been gone now for 15 months. And so I've had to learn to be someone a little bit more self-sufficiently, emotionally and stuff. And, what I wanted to do is, ever since I heard a few weeks ago that my mother was not coming back, I was like, okay, I need to get this coaching and speaking thing started as ASAP, as soon as possible. And many of you know my flagship podcast. Early on, we talked about what was known as the CAP method. Okay? And the CAP method is choose, act, and pursue happiness. And where I got that, ironically, is some of the tenets of my faith, being a Latter-day Saint, and some of the top theologians in my faith. It's funny, the last episode we were talking about the Lost Daughters mailing list, or rather, JR had Brett McKay do most of the talking. And so now I'm going to be doing the talking. Well, it's funny, I wanted to expand my CAP method coaching model. And this past Tuesday I was slated to have a virtual therapy visit. Well, unfortunately, something came up, it was canceled. Which, is okay, but I thought, I need to find some ways to have some self-therapy. And, one of the things I came up with the cognitive therapy logs, which in themselves are alright, but to be quite honest with you, it's easy to get bogged down in those and hard to see the way out. So that's why I developed what was known as the CAP method. And I had covered a lot of negative emotions. And someday, Power Your Pattern, I'm going to talk about the concept of coaching yourself through self-doubt. Because that's what I've been coming. I'm going to be honest with you. Part of the strenuous way is that we all need to do the inner work. And it's exciting. It's exciting. But it's also a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Think of it as, you're an astronaut getting ready to get on, the old-fashioned space shuttle, which I think is obsolete now. They got the Virgin craft. I don't know how those exactly work. I think same thing. They're strapped on their backs before launch. Maybe not. in the space shuttle, okay, this is the old school work, and it's hard. Sometimes we have to fight the gravity of our situations to bring ourselves back up. Now, if this was my flagship podcast, I'd give you an example of it. But maybe at some point, I have just entered a series called Empower Entrepreneur. And it's going to take the better part of maybe a month or two for me to finish that, just like it's with me, with this series, The Strenuous Way. Okay? You have to be able to work on yourself, because that's key to success. To be able to coach yourself, to be able to help yourself in the best way. Because one thing, and of course I've been looking into different life coaching schools and programs, and this one I called, and of course I haven't heard back from them. They said, coaches are not meant to give the answers. And that's because in many ways they don't know the answer. And some people like to say that there's a fine line between coaching and therapy. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to cross that line. I'm going to be sympathetic to people that have problems. But if they're having problems and negative thoughts, I'm going to introduce them to that particular coaching model to kind of coach themselves. You know what I mean? But other than that, okay. Now, I'm not going to stay on too long for this, but I'm going to tell you this. You have to do the inner work in order to pass the strenuous way. And with that, I hope you enjoy listening to the Strenuous Life Radio. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of the Strenuous Life Radio family. It's Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, don't just sit there and take it. Build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can go out and step into and have the things others can't. Think strong, live the strenuous life. God bless you guys, okay? You guys go out there and have a blessed day. Love y'all.